Hello from India, beautifuls. I know I've been away from YouTube for a little bit. I was preparing for my trip to India, and then it took me a little while to get acclimated here. So I thank you so much for your patience, and I'm so happy that you decided to join me today for another one of our conversations. Today I want to talk a little bit about fear and faith and my personal experience, in hopes that it will help you in your journey, because although I am sharing my personal situation, the idea of fear and faith is applicable to all of our circumstances and not unique to one or the other. So when I'm talking about fear, I am not talking about the intuitive or instinctual place in which we need to protect ourselves. I am talking about the fear that we hold on every day as a belief that something bad will transpire or could transpire. And in that place, we make decisions based on that belief. And we allow our experiences to be guided by by the lens of that belief. And it is a belief because it's not something that has happened yet. And then when we look at faith, faith too is simply a belief. We have no guarantee that things will turn out the way we want them to, or turn out for our best interest, according to the ego. But we have trust. It is a belief that they will. The same place that fear is a belief that it won't. And in my particular experience, at the beginning of 2022 in the spring, I was receiving very strong messages from the universe that I would be going to India. And I had faith that I was going to go to India and everything would be okay. And I'm human. Very, very human. So I'm not going to pretend that I am perfect, and I don't sometimes falter. And I allowed my faith in the benevolence of the universe to be overcome by my fear or my belief of the things that could go wrong. And so in September, even though I was supposed to be leaving in October, November, in September I had a belief that the universe was telling me not to go. And that was because I had allowed myself to step into fear. And in fear, I allowed my perspective to be tinted, or my lenses to be shaded with fear and doubt. And so I resisted. I canceled my plans. And it didn't take very long before the universe, in its wonderful benevolence, started to remind me that it knows best. And I was squeezed and contorted in ways that made it undeniable that I was to be going to India. And so I allowed myself to drop back into that place of faith and that trust that everything would work out as it should. And as it has. I am here. It has been a beautiful and very rewarding experience to this point, and I know that it will only get better. But we have the choice every single day. And with everything that we step into, whether we are going to be guided by fear or faith, and because they are both simply a belief, why not choose the belief that is more rewarding, that is more comforting, that is actually more aligned with the universal energies? And the more that we can step into that place of faith, the more that we open up for the universe to actually prove to us that it is always benevolent. And I know this is something that I repeat. This is my personal mantra. If anybody's ever worked with me or even is familiar with me on a personal level, they know that that is something I say all the time. Everything is benevolent. And even though that is my mantra and I try to hold fast to that, sometimes fear creeps into the picture. And that's why we need to be continually doing the work, continually observing, because our ego can easily allow us to slip into that place where we are acting and choosing from a place of fear, but we are telling ourselves otherwise. So the invitation today, if you are so willing, is to take one experience, one circumstance that arises, and to see if you can lovingly and compassionately step more into a place of faith than you currently are now, and to watch how the universe blesses that unfolding to really show you its grand benevolence. I thank you so much for listening to this perspective, and until we speak again, please be well.